have you ever wondered how did Voldemort help his Death Eaters to escape from Azkaban? Because after reading the Order of Phoenix, it doesn't really explain how did it happen. And in case J.K. Rowling didn't thought about that when writing the book, I was trying to find any information on the official websites, but I wasn't really capable to find anything about how exactly wizards traveled to Azkaban, or in this case, how the Death Eaters did it to escape from it. But at least, we have some details in the books and some other sources that we can take into account. First, one of the methods of transportation through the sea that we can read in the books or even see in the movies are the ships. For example, in the fourth book, the Turnstrang students traveled from their school to Hogwarts using one of these. But I don't really imagine the Minister of Magic or the same Voldemort using one to travel to Azkaban and then get out of there full of Death Eaters, even if it actually sounds useful and actually possible. So, another method of transportation that we can see on the movies and also the video game Hogwarts Legacy, and of course I know that the game is not really considered as canon, but for the purpose of this video I will consider it because it was also used in the Fantastic Beasts movie that for some economical reason, thanks to Warner, that shit is actually considered as canon. Unbelievable, right? But anyway, that method is the stagecoach. That, not using magic, will comfortably accommodate at least 6 wizards. But there is a thing. In the box says that approximately 10 Death Eaters were released that same day, including, as we all know, Bellatrix Lestrange, Anthony Dollahab, and Augustus Rookwood, among others. So, by not using magic, the fact of transporting all those wizards using a stagecoach wouldn't really sound possible, and honestly, I don't really see Voldemort using one of these, even if it actually sounds as useful as the ship itself. So, the other method that comes to my mind is the obviously one, the broom. But unless Voldemort had a way to transport 10 different brooms, of course using magic, that would probably answer the whole question. But unless he has one of these little magic bags like the one that Hermione used on the Deathly Hallows movie, I don't really think that was a method he used in case he thought about using brooms to transport all those Death Eaters out of Azkaban. And I know what would you probably be thinking right now, but believe me, the aberration has some limitations, and due to the location of the Azkaban prison, it is not really the best option, and especially because, even if they could, it requires a lot of concentration, power, and it is not really specified in the books or the official websites, but they might need their wands too, in order to make it a good operation, with no mistakes due to the explosion situation that would probably affect all of them by being so weak after years in Azkaban, even with someone else's wands. So, that leads me to the last regular option that Voldemort might be used to transport all those wizards out of Azkaban, and that is the portkeys. Of course, we know that portkeys have to be authorized by the Minister of Magic in order to work, but Voldemort didn't take control of the Ministry of Magic until the last book, so that option is basically impossible back in that time. And even though I really like the brooms option, I can't really imagine Voldemort carrying out 10 brooms with him or his Death Eaters. So when the speculation started eating me from inside, there was a moment when I thought, what if Voldemort taught all those 10 wizards how to fly with no broom like he did with the Snape, as far as we know? But that also has some problems. First, I highly doubt that such a power like flying with no broom is definitely not an easy thing to learn, especially after years in Azkaban, so that idea wasn't perfect either. Again, will they be capable to fly being so weak and with no wand? And I know, Voldemort may usually have 10 wands for them, but being someone else's wands, that doesn't really seem possible for me. Unless these were their original wands, but there is no information about that either. And then, I finally realized that there is no answer available to explain how could they all travel from Azkaban to England, unless Voldemort, among his several powers, had a way to hide and carry out 10 wizards with him. But as I said, if we take into account the Hogwarts Legacy video game, I think that probably the method that not only Voldemort used to get to the place, but also to help his Death Eaters to escape from it was actually the aberration. But I don't know. I really made a long research trying to find any information about it, but it seems there's none. At least I didn't find it. But I'd like to know your opinion. Do you have any idea of how did Voldemort transport 10 Death Eaters from Azkaban to England? And if you do, I'd like to read you in the comment section. But alright, Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. I'm the Dark Agent, and I'll see you again.